Hey, how's it going, guys? My name is Stuart Palvido. Today I'm going to be doing a book talk over this book right here. It's called The Girl Who Drank the Moon. It's actually a pretty special book. It won the 2017 Newbery Award for Most Distinguished Contribution to American Literature for Children. So it's one of the top two most prestigious awards in the U.S. given to a book. So the book is I don't want to give too much away, but the first part of it is going to be about this town called the Protectorate, and every year they have a day of sacrifice where they take one of the babies, the youngest baby, and they go out and leave it in the woods for the witch. So they think that this witch is super evil, and it's protecting and sacrificing a baby to them is protecting their town from her wrath, from her anger. So, of course, as the book is going to go on, they'll find out what happens. But the main part of the book comes afterwards. It's about this one baby that they go to sacrifice, and the witch is actually not a bad person. She's a good person, and she raises this girl. And when she becomes 13 years old, the book really picks off. So I don't want to give too much away, but so the book is going to start off with this guy called the Grand Elder. So he's getting ready for the day of sacrifice, and he is looking in the mirror and preparing, and all of a sudden his nephew comes in and tells him that all the other elders are ready to get started. So they all walk out there together to this mother's house, and she's the one that they are taking the baby away from, and she's putting up a pretty big fight. It's not very common for people to put up a fight because sacrificing a baby is how they keep themselves safe from the witch, or so they think. So the Grand Elder tells the guards to take the baby from her and to lock her in the tower, which is where they put crazy people. So they take this baby and they take it out to the woods. And the Grand Elder's nephew, when they get there, they just leave it on this tree stump. And he asks them, he's like, aren't we going to wait for the witch to come? Because we're just leaving this baby out here. And all the elders look at him, and they're all surprised, and they're like, what are you talking about? We've never seen the witch. We're just going to leave it there. And so he starts crying because this baby is sitting there on the stump screaming, calling out for its mother, and she's not there. And so as they leave, the book shows you inside one of the elders' thoughts, and he's thinking, there is no witch. No one's ever seen it. They just do this to keep power from the citizens so that all the elders can stay powerful and decide what happens in the town. So they're all pretty bad guys. And that's where that first chapter ends. So the second chapter, though, is where it gets interesting. It starts off by talking about, it introduces the magic of the book, all the fantasy stuff. So it introduces the witch and this little baby dragon and the swamp monster. And from there, it just takes off as she raises this little girl, this baby, into a young teenager. And so I don't want to give any more away, but that's where the book really starts to get good. So throughout the lesson, or before the lesson starts, I should say, I'm going to have my students do a book preview. So they're going to look at the cover of the book and answer a bunch of questions. So what do you see on the cover? Have you heard of this author before? Based on the cover of this book, do you think it's fiction or nonfiction? What do you think it will be about? And then we've got it filled out with some answers right there. And then so that's the before. The during activity is going to be a details list. So the students will write out who, what, where, when, and why, all these plot devices in the book. They're going to fill that out while they're actually reading it as they go. And then finally, they're going to do a summary of what they've read. So they're just going to fill out this, sheet summarizing what they've done in the sequential and correct chronological order. And they're going to be done. So the book is really going to be good for anyone who's about 13 years old. It's a great book. I'm actually pretty interested in reading the rest of it myself. And I'm going to leave the rest up to you guys to read, and I hope you decide to read it and enjoy it.